Greetings! Have you ever stood by the sea just looking at the waves coming into shore? I know, as a curious geographer, you must have wondered to yourself how do waves even form and why they crash out into the coastline like that. Well, good news. Today we are going to make a big splash as we learn a little about waves. Most waves are created by wind blowing across the surface of the sea. The friction between the wind and water causes the water to move in a circular motion. I bet you never knew this. The water in the waves looks like it is going forward, doesn't it? Yes, that's how it looks. But in reality, it is really going up and down, or to use a fancy word, it is oscillating. Each particle of water is simply moving in circles. The only time the water actually moves forward is when it breaks or crashes onto the coastline. As waves reach shallow waters, things change. Friction with the seabed slows the wave down. The wave's front becomes steeper and eventually tumbles forward. This is when we say the wave breaks, throwing water onto the shore.
Let's add two new words to your vocabulary, swash and backwash. When a wave breaks, the water that rushes onto the beach is called the swash. The water that drains back into the sea is the backwash. The balance between these two forces tells you what type of wave we are seeing. Some waves are constructive, meaning their swash is stronger than their backwash. These waves build up beaches by depositing material. On the other hand, destructive waves have a stronger backwash than swash, eroding the coastline over time.
Alright, so as you can see, the waves are coming into the shore and this area which is referred to as the beach. Now the waves, as you should know already, are caused by friction as the wind passes over the surface of the water. Now as the wind passes over the surface of the water, it creates several undulations, several up and down motions. The down parts are called the troughs and the up parts are called the crests. Now what you might not have known is that these waves actually create or help to create this area which is known as the beach. This area that you play on and you make sand castles and stuff like that. Now as the waves come in, they help to push material or the load or this sand, they push it up onto the beach area and deposit it. This motion is called the swash. Here the swash comes in, and then when it returns to the water, that is called the backwash. Now what you may also not have known is that there are different types of waves. Some are called constructive waves and some are called destructive waves. Now how do we know the difference between a constructive wave and a destructive wave? Well, one way is that we can count how many waves break on the beach during a minute or 60 seconds. So let us count. Wow, there were so many waves that I almost lost count. I think it was around 19 or so. But how many did you get? Now what happens is that when so many waves are coming in, each wave actually interferes with the wave that was there before. So it cannot, it does not allow the swash to to run up and deposit, and also allow the backwash to return. So there's an interruption that occurs when the waves crash into each other. The second thing that you may note is that these waves are a little higher. So they plunge downwards and they actually remove the sand. So instead of building up the beach or allowing an accumulation, what actually occurs is that it destroys the beach. And unfortunately, after several years, all of this sand might not be here. Several years ago, this beach here was further out. Now I'm going to show you another place and show you what may happen in a few years' time.
Did you know waves help to determine how a country's coastline looks? Oh, you never know? Yes, man. Waves can erode, which means they can gradually wear away or destroy the coast. Waves can erode in 4 ways, just like rivers. 1. Hydraulic action. The sheer force of waves crashing and colliding with the coast can break rocks apart. Waves are heavy. 2. Abrasion. Waves carry material like sand and pebbles, which scrape and wear down the coast. These sand and pebbles act like sandpaper, scouring and scraping away at the coast or cliff face. 3. Attrition. Rocks carried by waves collide with each other, breaking into smaller, smoother pieces. This is the real reason you find those nice, pretty, smooth, round stones on the beach. The same ones you love to collect. Next time you pick up one, remember the word attrition. 4. Solution. Seawater dissolves minerals in certain types of rocks, like limestone. This one you have to take my word for it, because this process is invisible to the naked eye. But if you don't want to take my word for it, well, go taste some seawater. How it tastes? Salty, right? Waves can also build a coastline through processes of deposition, but that's for another video. So next time you're at the beach, take a little time to appreciate the waves, not just for their beauty, but for their role in shaping the world around us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more geography knowledge. Peace.